everyone. So NEET PG 2022 exam is over, and as usual, there are mixed reactions from the students. The paper was quite interesting. More than testing your knowledge, it has also tested your nerves, and I'm sure that you were able to handle their challenges pretty well. Those who are appearing for the future exam, this video is extremely important for them and also important for those who have appeared for the exam. Because those who are appearing for the future exam, there are certain messages that I want to give you in this particular video. If I talk about the paper, there are few things that I want to tell you regarding the paper, and that is obviously it was a balanced paper. Some questions were extremely easy, some questions were challenging, and as usual, some questions were undoable. But there were some things that I felt in the paper what we have to pay attention to. There were few questions in which something like this was happened. For example, a chest X-ray was given, and scapula, clavicle, acromion process, and the humerus were marked. So let's say they are marked as A, B, C, D. Now they were marked like this. And the question was that which of the following structure is involved. Now the choices are 1, 2, 3, 4. And in 1, 2, 3, 4, the choices were like B, C, D, A, something like this. What I'm trying to highlight with this is that what happens with a lot of us in these kind of questions is you say, okay, let's say you're thinking the answer is clavicle, and you say, okay, A, and you mark the answer as 1, whereas actually it's a wrong answer, it should be 4. So those kinds of tricks were also there in some of the questions in the paper. The point that I want to highlight with this is that it is not just the subject knowledge, it is the smartness of attempting the paper that will also play an important role, whether you have written this exam or whether you will be writing a future exam. And the only way to get into this is practice, practice, practice. Try to practice some GTs in the examination atmosphere, and that will be very, very helpful for you. Okay. Lot of students were messaging me about, sir, what do you think, what will be the cutoff, and sir, what do you think, I am scoring 500 marks, what rank I can get. So it is too difficult to predict, but there are always some exit polls. So I have tried to create my own exit poll. Before I go forward, I will just tell you that what I have done, how I have created this exit poll, from where I have got the raw data. So I'm basically trying to tell you the raw data. So a lot of us have done the recall videos, all the faculties. So I've interacted with around 25 to 26 faculties of different subjects to take their opinion that how was the paper in terms of them. So I'll just show you. So if we see 19 subjects, I have taken the opinion of different faculties that how was the paper according to them, how many questions were asked from their subject, and how do they rate it. They were asked to rate it into 4 groups. A very easy question, that means which can be done by almost every student, easy question, a tricky question, or an undoable question. It is almost like the same what I used to tell in the class, 20, 30, 30, 20 rule. 20, 30, 30, 20 rule broadly. So that is how I asked or requested the faculties to divide it. And then I have taken the average of it. But what happened was, when I calculated the average of it and I calculated all 19 subjects, the total number of questions that I got are 290. But exam has only 200 questions. Then how come it be 290? Because there were so many overlaps of the questions. A question which was there in the anatomy could be a part of orthopedics also. A question which was there in the radiology could be a part of surgery, like pneumoperitoneum, like pneumothorax, like HSG, which is a radiology, as well as an OBG question. So there was some overlap. And do you know that is another point, just in a humorous way, about the so-called the 100% strike rate. And a lot of time people make fun of it, and that more than 100% strike rate. So that is how it happens. But anyways, so what I did is I did an average of it to take a scale and divide it by 0.65. So that come out to be 200. So on the basis of that opinion, I have realized that the 54 questions in the paper were very easy. 81 questions were easy. Easy, I will say that if you have read the notes once or twice, you will be able to do them. 48 were tricky questions and 17 questions were very, very difficult, or I can say undoable out of these 200. Okay, this is a broad ballpark figure on the basis of probabilities that I have calculated. So 54 were easy questions, 81 were easy or you can say moderate, 48 were tricky questions, and 17 were undoable questions. So if you ask me, basically these 48 questions are gonna the one, and some of out of these 81, they are the one they're gonna decide your rank, because 54, I will say any student will be able to solve. 17, most of the student will not be, I will say almost all of the students will not be able to solve. Okay, so that is the broad description that I have done for the paper. And if I go with that, I will just show you the rank, NEET PG ranks on the basis of the marks in the last year. In the last year, 1,67,102 candidates have applied for the exam, and 1,60,888 students have given the exam. The first rank scored 714 marks. The rank 100 was at around 670 marks. Rank 500 was at around 645 marks. At 600 marks, the rank was around 2,600. Whereas at 575, it was 5,000. And at 500, it was 17,000. And at 465, it was 25,000. The initial cutoff for the general category that was given was 302, which was later on reduced to 247. These were some of the values that were in the last year NEET PG 2021. So using this, and after studying some of the telegram data about the number of the student, how many questions they are doing correct or how many questions they are doing wrong, I feel that this should be the broad cutoff at this year. The rank 1 should be somewhere in the range of 715 to 732, because I assume there is 17 questions are the one that nobody will be able to do. If somebody is able to do them, they are at a different league altogether. So that is, I feel that the rank 1 cutoff, I feel, should be around 300. This year, 2,06,301 students have applied for the exam, and the actual number of candidates who appeared for the exam are 1,82,318. If you're aiming for a rank in 5,000, I feel that the score that should be aimed was somewhere between 575 to 600. I know that some of you will feel that this is a very, very high score that I am talking of, but I feel that that is how it should be. And in between 20,000 to 25,000 rank, it should be 465 to 500. And these are the broad ballpark figures that I'm there. Now the question is why I am doing it. Now, am I doing it to increase an anxiety in you? Or just to gain more viewers? No, none of them is the reason. The reason behind that is that I want, if broadly, because whenever you write an exam, you have some expectation from yourself in writing the exam. And no matter what I say, a majority of you have checked the recall, majority of you have a broad idea. A lot of time people say that there is no point checking the recall, all the answers are given as wrong. There is a controversy, what is given at eGurukul, what is given at Prep Ladder is different. Yes, that is going to happen. But I'm telling you that more or less it broadly becomes more or less same. More or less same. You get a pretty decent idea. Sometimes you are not sure or you are not ready to accept the answer that is given by the faculty, and you are trying to justify your answer, and that is okay. I mean, that's a part of human nature. Now, why I'm doing this is because what I want is that if you are thinking, you have set a goal for yourself and you think you're broadly able to reach to this goal and you're above that particular goal, then that's fine. But if you think that you are well below this particular goal and you will not be satisfied if you're below this particular goal, then I do not want you to waste your time. I want you to start. Trust me, guys, in the long run, nobody is going to ask you whether you got the PG in the first attempt, second attempt, third attempt, or fourth attempt. What matters is that whatever you are doing, whether you are satisfied with it or not, you should not be frustrated. You should not have a regret that why I did it. And a lot of time people have regret why I choose MBBS. So I have a lot of videos on my YouTube channel. You can talk about that. But anyways, that's not the topic that I need to discuss in this. These are broad ballpark figures that I feel should be there. You're free to comment on whatever that you want, whatever gives you satisfaction. I don't mind. But I feel that that is how it should be. But stay positive. If you think you are filling it up, congratulations. If you think you are not going with this, my suggestion to you is start afresh and start reading. Don't waste much of our time. If you need our help, do let me know. How can we help you? May God bless you all. May wish you all the best for the result ahead.